Hi everyone, this is Tanya Tavassolie, and I'm one of the authors of this poster. And I'm going to give you a quick overview of what we found and what we did. So we were really interested in looking at the relationship between parents and family support staff in early care and education settings. So we know that low-income families benefit from having strong relationships with their child's school and building a home-to-school connection, and this can build resilience in families and also build strong school readiness skills in their kids. So we used a new measure called the Family and Provider Teacher Relationship Quality Scale, which is a survey that was given to parents and family support staff, and it measures knowledge, practices, and attitudes. And the goal of our study was to just be very descriptive, so you can read through the poster to see more about what it measured. And here in table 1, you can see the dimensions and subconstructs of each of the surveys to see what they were really measuring. So our data come from a group of 21 high-quality research-based early care and education schools in the United States serving low-income children and families ages 0 to 5. And the short version of the survey was administered to family support staff and the families in each of the sites. And we also gathered some information from family support staff that included workplace climate and job stress inventory, because we wanted to know how the FPTRQ was related to other kinds of measures of job satisfaction. So you can see here, just as some preliminary evidence, that in figure 1 you can see that overall our averages were pretty high across the dimensions in the two groups that took the survey. This is the lowest one, which is the family support staff knowledge, but overall pretty high. If we move over here to the results, you can see our psychometrics look pretty good, that the construct seems to hang together quite well. And our second research question was to look at how the family support staff demographics and how the demographics relate to FPTRQ responses. And so we found that they were moderately correlated. So families or rather family support staff who had better attitudes towards their families tended to enjoy their workplace more. If they reported having more job satisfaction or control over their jobs, they tended to score more highly on the FPTRQ. So these are things that we would have expected, but still good for us to see in our data. And we decided to do a follow-up regression where we found that family support staff who were more satisfied with their jobs overall tended to have better attitudes towards the parents in their caseload, even after controlling for demographic factors and accounting for center. And then our last two research questions, we were wanting to relate the family support staff responses directly to the parent responses. So just keep in mind, this is not a one-to-one connection. The family support staff were reporting on all of the parents in their caseload, and the parents were reporting on just their family support staff member. And so you can see here in table 2 correlations between the parent and family support staff constructs. So parents who reported feeling more comfortable sharing information with their family support staff tended to have family support staff who were reporting that they felt like they knew more specific information about the families in their caseload. Mind you, these are very weak correlations, but still maybe evidence of some preliminary findings here. And parents who reported feeling comfortable and welcomed by the family support staff practices were the family support staff who they were assigned to were reporting increased knowledge and more positive perceptions about the families in their caseload. And we also followed that up with a regression, so that's in research question 4, where we wanted to relate the family support staff caseloads with their parent responses on the FPTRQ. So we found that family support staff with higher caseloads tended to have parents who reported lower knowledge and practices. So this is preliminary evidence that keeping caseloads down would be a good way to improve the relationship between family support staff and the parents at the centers. What we found from up here might suggest that, workplace environment is really important for building good relationships between staff and parents. And so we're hoping that this study, even though it's preliminary and still ongoing, we're still trying to discover what this might mean for the larger field, but it hopefully gives preliminary evidence that, there's this relationship is really important to study, and it's important to understand how parents are perceiving the staff at their child's early care and education center, and finding good ways of measuring that relationship is really important and will help give us answers on how to best serve the families in these communities.